All right, it's been a few days. I mean, what's happened? Just miners and gold just kept on going up, which has been nice. I obviously removed all my sells. My strategy was to no longer do little trims, little nibbles, light sells, and then just say, all right, I'll buy the dip because I've got a decent amount of cash. I've been adding to the cash, and all the sales I've been doing during this year has been adding to the cash. But despite that, I mean, the portfolio is just growing ever and ever larger because of the move in the miners and just risk management wise and just a percentage of my portfolio. If I look at my massive Excel, it's just I'm so heavy in the miners. And the move is starting to look a little, I mean, it was looking overextended for a while, but now let's just put it this way. I have resumed my old habit of nibbling. I mean, a few days ago, I removed all my good till cancels, maybe a week ago, which is brilliant because we kept on going up. But now I mean, yesterday evening after the market closed, I just went through all the miners and I just said, all right, let's just do little nibbles here, here, here. I got all my good till cancel sells in, and one or two I did yesterday just before the market closed. CDE, my favorite, it's just so vertical. I look at it, I say, would you buy that? You know, if I was neutral objective, no way, I would never buy something that just goes vertical. I mean, if I had to be in a stock, I'd put 20%, hope it goes down. If it keeps going up, good. You make money. If it goes down, good. You're happy to lose money because you can add and make your full position. But I did one or two trims and I basically added my good till cancel sells. If they keep going up for some of them, I'll go over that. But yeah, I put my sales back in because we are so overextended. If we keep going up, brilliant. I mean, brilliant. The portfolio will go even higher. It's really nice value. But I've got a lot of cash. I expect to have even more cash if we do go higher. And if there's a big drop, then I'm going to just gobble it all up. All right, let's look at the start of DXY. Look at that. That's perfect. I mean, that is just, and this is what I thought we just drift sideways lower and basically flush. September rate cut coming in, so that coincides quite well. We'll probably go down now to 96.5, maybe bounce back up to 97. You know, DXY doesn't even matter these days. This just, and then by the time the September rate cut comes, if it's 50 basis points in particular, down we flush to the 95s. DXY is toast, and it doesn't even matter what it does. Yields haven't really mattered too much for a while. I think for the market, it mattered because if we started to go up too high, then markets should flush, but that's been going down. That doesn't really matter. Honestly, yields in the dollar don't even matter. Even the market doesn't matter. I mean, the market going down has helped gold. It honestly, everything else doesn't matter. It could even help if the market starts to go down and gold and miners keep going up. Then you've got absolutely every star aligned. And then imagine how much lower, how far the general markets have to go and how much higher miners can go. Yields honestly don't even matter. I think the dollar matters more than yields at the moment, but yields will come down with the dollar in the lead up to the rate cuts, no problem. All right, gold. This is just fabulous stuff, right? We took this out. We just absolutely screamed high. This was inevitable. Once we closed around here, that we would test this and break it. We did it in one day. That retest was beautiful. I mean, I wasn't worried about gold here. A retest is normal. It could even close the gap and go up, but we just this is just mental stuff, and we're gonna go way higher to right now, high of day. I mean, where do we go? I don't know. Take out your Fibonacci's and start all that stuff, but 3700, 3750, 3800, you got to look at the DXY. Well, that's just gonna flush. I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's just a runaway train. I like to sell in such moves, and obviously I haven't sold for several days, so I've just been able to enjoy this move without taking any profits. But gold, nothing to say about gold. Just absolutely mental. Silver, look at yesterday's close, right? So now we're Tuesday morning, Monday close, best close. Popped out head above. Obviously, gold's just made new highs every day, so that helps. But silver is just more gradual, and I love it because it's just, it's not a squeeze up and a move down in 1 or 2 weeks and it's over for a decade. This is just gradually gonna hit 50 and then maybe a move, maybe a retracement, and then we break through 50 and 50 becomes the floor and we retest 50, it holds and go to 60. At the moment, it's just a slow move up. I mean, gold, I can't zoom out and look at some historical data, but silver you can. I mean, everyone was saying, and I was saying, 41, 42, 43, in between 43.5 and all this stuff. But I mean, for me, 42 is obviously the next number. Silver likes big round numbers and 50-cent increments. 42, obviously, we'll do a little back and forth there. 43, for me, there's no 42.5. It's 42, 43, and then 44. Keep it simple. 42, 43, 44. After 44, nothing until 50. And when I say 50, I mean 49 point something. So maybe that's when gold starts to hesitate once you start to hit the 44 in silver, right? Maybe it's time to judge gold on silver. But silver, nothing until 42, 43, 44. Let's look at the miners. It's all about the miners. Start with GDX. Right. Well, that's where we are. There you go. That's all you need to. I thought we were going to hit, I thought this was going to be a level. I guess it was for 1 or 2 days. Who cares? Up we go. This is supposed to, for me, a big level, right? 63.5-ish. Look how many times here we hit it. And more importantly, this ascending market absolutely doesn't care about what I think. It kind of retested it here. Maybe that's just coincidence. Up we go. Now, this is obviously a level where we hit yesterday, but we closed at or above it. Very strong hammer with gold making sort of new highs on the close too, and gold's still running right now. So even the absolute high, right? This is 2011 high. This is just the obvious level, the all-time historic high GDX. Don't care. I mean, if you don't care about that, then this is just saying we need to be repriced and no charts don't matter kind of thing, at least with the momentum we got. If today holds, with gold moving up so far early this morning, well, then up we go to 70. And then after that, I don't know. Now it's just big, round, beautiful numbers, whatever you guys like. So that's a 4% move. That's quite a big move. But I think 70 is probably your next level. And that's just a way of confirming, all right, we've definitely cleared this level, 67, the absolute historic high. But we kind of closed. I don't even know if it was at 67, but yeah, 67.24. Yeah, we've kind of cleared it. We closed above the historic high yesterday, and we're still running today. But this move, I know moves can be absolutely wild, but a retracement would be almost welcome and it's healthy, especially if this is going to last months, years maybe. So I don't mind if we retrace. I have the cash, but otherwise, it just looks like it can keep going. And I know RSIs are extremely extended, but they can stay extended for ages. You look at all these Nvidias and RSIs just broken. GDXJ, cleared the upper resistance, next level. Honestly, you could probably find 1 or 2 here, but at 100, there's nothing obvious. 100, you got to zoom out here anyway. The weekly chart is probably better, but 15% is GDXJ. So, but that's a huge move, right? That's 2 massive days or one amazing week. I don't know if we can do it this week, but GDXJ got 100. So, I don't know. That's a big move, but that's my next target. I'm probably going to base everything on silver at the moment, but gold by default just runs and GDX has cleared everything. So 100 on GDXJ, SIL into the sort of this tram zone here. I mean that's pretty good too. Extended next level. Obviously you got this little thing here, but that's not much. 70 maybe. I mean, if silver starts to run to 44, yeah, we can keep going. This is your obvious next level, 75-ish from where we are, 20%. Yeah. If GDXJ can do 15, SIL, which is the seniors, but it's silver, could probably do 20, especially if silver's running and outperforming gold. Otherwise, we'll stop off somewhere in between. Your 2011 high is all the way up here, 95-ish, right? Which is where GDX hit today. Now, obviously, GDX outperform. I mean, it's the first one to hit its high because it's just been running for ages. It's got a big head start, but 95 is quite far away. But that's good, even more upside. And then our favorite one, SILJ, which has so much more to run. Now we don't have 2011 numbers, but we haven't even taken out 2013, which is when we were sort of going down and just retracing on moves down. We haven't even hit the 2016 high. That's done today as long as we stay green. At the moment, we closed in between two resistance points, so I think that's inevitable that we test 20. 20 is a big number. Again, I thought 18 was a big number, didn't care. Then I thought 19 was a big number, didn't care. 20, I mean, 20 is actually a bigger number. And I think we'll test that today. It's looking brilliant. But I'm not trading the ETFs. I'm trading the individual stocks, and I'm completely outperforming all these ETFs. I know all these little fund managers like to talk about how they're outperforming. You should be outperforming the ETFs, I think. But even if you're not, if you're in too many juniors, that's and the juniors are outperforming now. So I wish I held more juniors. All right, Newmont. Um, you know, not that amazing. We closed below where we've been for a few days. So Newmont is, and that's obviously running, that's been running for a while. But for me, Newmont, the obvious next point is 85, 86, the all-time high, basically where GDX is. That's been, I think it's been outperforming GDX, but overall, it hasn't because otherwise it'd be at 86 today. So that's got, and that one I removed my sells because it's just a beast stock. That's something you can hold for years. Actually, got a tiny dividend. I don't even care about the dividend. The type of moves we're making these days, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6% every day. Well, no one cares about a dividend anymore. But this, as Wall Street starts to buy these stocks, and obviously Newmont's the only one in the S&P, as they start to buy, I think this has no problem taking out 86 and running. So this will run with gold, and think about how much money these guys are gonna be making now with the margins. Just these moves that gold makes every day, and it's like 1% a day, you know, just so much more money. And I think there'll be a delayed rush. We haven't seen it yet. We've seen a little bit finally for the first time in years, and that's what this move's been. But if they even start to allocate 1% or 0.1% into miners, this thing just has to go to 100 plus. The same applies to all stocks. So Newmont, I'm leaving it. I expect to get to 86 with gold rising. And if it doesn't do it now, it'll do it in a few months. If we have some sort of surprise retracement, the Fed does 25 basis points, gold goes down, whatever. A few months later, we'll be 86 because just earnings wise. So Newmont, no problem holding that. Barrick, Barrick, look at that move. It started to outperform all the seniors like a few weeks ago with this pop. This was early. It was running when everyone else was sort of retracing and going red. I remember Barra could be up like 3% and everything else was sort of minus 0.5. And it's just, look at that. Just look at the last 2 days. This thing wants to get all the way up to this 30.5 zone. And I think it's going to do it almost no matter what happens. This week, Barrick, I'm the most bullish on Barrick compared to all the other seniors, so Kaneko, uh, even Pan America. I feel like it's just gonna make it. It's got a magnet move to 30.5 or maybe even 31. It's just gone through everything else like it wasn't there. And if you zoom out, we're nowhere near 2011 highs. Nowhere near. It's like 100. Do you know what I mean? From where we are now, that's a 100% move just to get to where GDX is now. And this is Barrick. And I think I'm more bullish on Barrick than anything else. So this one I added a small trim because there's an obvious level, just like Newmont, by the way, at 85.99, that I'm just trimming the absolute record high, right? If you're gonna do it, might as well do that here. Barrick, I'm doing it here because the historic high is way too far away. I don't have my good deal cancel there. I've got months, maybe, or at least weeks until that happens. Little trim, I think at 30.49 on Barrack. But look at that, that's just vertical. It's just amazing. But yeah, I'm the most bullish on this one. It's got so much more catching up to do, and it's an absolute monster. Agnico, I don't know what to say about Agnico. For many months now, I'm at a loss with words. Vertical, for a reason. This is justified. It's printing money, and with gold going up every day, this thing becomes more and more ridiculously valuable. So it's just, and I had 150 as a sell, but then I was removing all my sells, and I just looked at now 154. Even if I had my sell, it doesn't care about my sell. What's next? 160. I removed all my sells in Agnico. I've got one for Newmont, the all-time high. I got one for Barrick, the next medium-term horizontal resistance. Agnico, I just none. Just like go for it. Do what you want. You retrace. Maybe I buy some back. It depends which stock is more valuable relatively at the time. But Agnico, I'm just like, I'm gonna forget you for I don't want to say years, but months. I'm gonna forget you. Maybe if it gets towards 200, I'll do a little sell at 200, a little 5% sell max or something. But Agnico, I'm just gonna ignore Agnico. I'm not gonna cover it unless it goes down. Pan American Silver, this one gradually moving up like silver, very nice. Now you can see yesterday this was a level 36. I think, you know, for me, the next important level is 38. But I've seen these. I mean, this is a massive long-term descending resistance. For me, an obvious sell, but I can imagine just maybe SIL is nowhere near resistance by the time Pan America's at 38, so it just keeps going. So Pan America has to keep going. So I can imagine 38 being ignored, like a lot of my other levels. Market just says, well, he just doesn't know me, doesn't care about me, doesn't care about my stupid lines, and it just keeps going, and then it's 40. So between 38 and 40, maybe 40 is more of a resistance. But 38, I'm doing a little trim just out of respect for this long term descending. And then I would do another one probably at 40. Little stuff, little 1%, just ceremonial stuff as it keeps going up, just adding to the pile. Even though it's dollars, even though dollars trash and it's going down, yes, I get a little interest in interactive brokers, but nothing compared to the daily moves. But it's just a habit and honestly risk management. Pan America's my number one valued stock at the moment because it was always the biggest senior, and with the move, it's just been outperforming the others. And soon Mag will join it, so it'll be worth even more, I expect. So yeah, 38.40. I've only got the sell at 38, but otherwise let it run for months. Wheaton, that's cleared its old level here. Up it goes. This one I'm treating like a Gnico. There's no historical data. It's record high every day. So I'm removing it. Again, I was gonna have like a sell at 110. Sounds like a nice number. I deleted it last night because I was putting sells for all stocks. I was like, no, Agnico, no. Wheaton, no. And then the rule became if it doesn't have historical data to the left, if it's new all-time historic high, delete the sell. We'll just buy the dip. For the other ones, the obvious historic sell, I'll trim out of respect, out of habit. But the rest I leave. So Wheaton, I'm just going to ignore that until there's a big down day. Franco Nevada. Now this one, same rule. Deleted all sells, let it run. Very nice close, by the way. Keep running. 200. I've got to sell at 200 just because it's such a massive number and it's a pathetic sell, right? So don't worry, it's not going to impact at all the value of the holding. It's just a little nibble, little rabbit bite. And then if it comes back down, maybe we buy back. It'll probably come back down here, and I'm ready to buy back so many of them. And if I don't get the opportunity, great. So 200 little sell, otherwise keep going until further notice. Metalla, the other royalty, the sort of mid-tier royalty. This one's had a nice move, especially consider how stubborn it's been down here. Um, and I already sold this move over here a few days ago. So this one I've got, I think my next sell's in the sevens. I think I'm selling the little sells there and there, but that's a huge move. That might take weeks to get there. 30%. I don't want to get too arrogant. We might not get there for months. If something surprises and we've got a down move, then it'll take ages. Then I'll move that sell back down to the sort of 569. Depends how much lower we go everywhere. But Metalla, and it's not worth too much compared to the others still, even though I sort of added to it on this move, this breakout, which I was happy to do. But Metalla has had a good move, but the next move is far away. So, but I think this one's got a good future ahead of it. This 30-40% move you can expect nowhere near its old high, nowhere near. And that's not even 2011. So that one, no problem holding. All right, mid tiers. I am gold. This one's pretty sensitive to the gold. We're hitting a small level soon here. Here I added mini cells, right? So I think the little cell I've got here is actually 10.99 if I remember. I'm assuming we close this little gap here and actually go a little further. I think 10.99, 11.99. Yeah, it's all these little horizontals. I just added little trims as I used to do. This one is just old school uh, cells in place. But this requires gold to keep going, I think, which I think will happen. It could do it. Little cells, but otherwise we've got a long way up to go. And I think I am gold will make this move. I think I am gold. I think the mid tiers are already maybe, but will start to outperform the seniors by a lot. And it's stocks like this one, which has got more than 100% move to do to get back to its old high. It's a good stock. It's well known. It reacts well to gold price going up with earnings, future earnings. I think this one could actually go all the way up there. 100% stock in several months. So small cells, definitely keeping the absolute core position for the bigger move. Equinox, another one where if you really look at it like this, hasn't had a crazy move. I mean, it has, but another one that I think will definitely go all the way up to the old highs. And we're not even talking about 2011 highs. I don't think it was around back then, but even the 2020 highs, nowhere near. So, and I think that's quite easy to do. That's like a 30% move. I got a small sell there, leaving the rest. And if we go all the way back down, this is such a massive buy, to be back in this zone here. If we go back to the eights or something. So small sells, otherwise that's it. B2 Gold, another mid tier that I think is probably a senior actually, has a long way up to go. I don't like the fact it's got a big African operation, but everyone's known that for ages. Up we go. I think my small sell is here just below five. Otherwise, leave it and I'll add my next sell around seven if we get there soon. But lots of upside on some of these mid tier gold stocks, and I think it's inevitable with the earnings. So it's not like the move is over for them. Harmony, this one had bad news. My first buy was on this big down day. Then I chased it there. Now I mean, this thing will just go up, breakout, old high, and then we run after 19. That's what I think. I don't think the news was that its costs are up. Whatever, gold is up more. Even if it's not, momentum will do it. So this thing I think will soon start to run towards 19. But this one I've just started the position. It's quite a decent value already, actually, with the two buys. I'm surprised. I think I was a bit drunk with the gold move, and I just said in two. Normally I do like five or six tranches of buys or something as something goes down. Here I just did one, two, and that'll do actually. So welcome to the family, Harmony. I expect you to make new highs. Just want to check it's yeah, 19 is an absolute multi-year level. So no, I won't even sell that. I expect new highs. I forgot to cover Aris mining. Now this one, I always say don't zoom out because it won't help. Now you got to zoom out, and if you look at this little low here, $10. Then we bounced hard up to 50. I don't even understand what that means. And then we flushed it, and now we're going back towards it. So 10, I've got a tiny nibble at 9.99 because after that, I mean, that's the rest of the story. After that, I'm not going to have a sell until like 18, probably, this gap zone, which is an 80% move from 10, which we're not even there yet. This thing, I don't even understand what this thing is capable of. Huge moves. So a little sell at 10 and then that's it. And then I'll see what happens. This I think has a great future ahead of it anyway. SBSW, which is more platinum palladium. Very happy about the buy. So obviously I trimmed on the way up here. Boom, boom, boom. We come back down. I bought on these days, this day here, and then this day here, and now back we are at 9 something. I expect us to be testing basically 980. I don't know, this week as the other metals seem to be rallying. And then back we go to new sort of highs of the year, 13 and then 20. This thing is capable of the moves, and it's already done probably a bigger move than some of the silver stocks. So SPSW, happy to hold the core position, happy to have bought back those 2 days. That was good. And I expect it to be at 13 like next week and then 20 before the end of the year. This is a huge move. I mean, that's straight away 100%. There's still 100%ers everywhere. All right. I don't think I've missed any. First, Majestic. Now, this one's interesting. This is the biggest buy out of all the silver stocks. I think it's a cult stock. I think it makes a lot of money with silver moving up. I think it hasn't broken out yet. I don't know why. It would normally be a bad sign, but I don't think that's the case. I just think I don't understand why, but it still hasn't cleared 10. It needs to close above 10, then it can start to run to its next levels. I've got something at 1150 here. But otherwise nothing until 14. 14 is an obvious level, right? It was resistance there, it was support there's resistance there. Huge number. I remember 14 being a level from the years back. So this one needs to close above 10, then you can start running. Here I've got a sell at 13.99, easy, but we need it to react stronger to silver, and I don't really understand why it's not doing it. But out of all the silver stocks, you compare it to the other ones that have moved a lot. First Majestic is the better buy. Fortuna is a bit similar. It's maybe moved up a bit more, right? Made new highs compared to a few weeks ago, but hasn't really made a crazy move. But this one, it's only got two levels until it hits its absolute high. So I've got a tiny nibble at 849 and a tiny nibble just here, 9, probably 79 or something. You zoom out, that's just an obvious resistance. So I'm very patient. Small cells in there, leave the rest, no problem. Now CDE, this one is going to become is a monster. It's going to become a bigger monster as silver keeps rising. and it's reacted accordingly. Incredible gains. I think it's the best. It's always been my favorite. We're hitting, and I know my resistance levels no one cares about, but this descending, I should clear it up so you can see, but the descending one, right? We touched it yesterday, and yesterday we closed red. That's not CDE like. That's very uncharacteristic of CDE. And Silj was up 2.5%. So Silj up 2.5%. CD should be up 4, 5 or something. Instead, it's down 0.5%. So I just took a little bit, one, 1 or 2% off. It's worth more than any other junior mid-tier silver. I mean, other than Pan America, it's the most valuable silver stock. And I was like, if this comes down, great, I'll buy it, but it's gonna hurt. It's gonna be a big hit to the actually the portfolio. And I just said, let's trim a little bit, which has hardly any effect because the trim is so small. But I just thought in principle I'll start trimming. Next sell, I've got one at 16 because for me that was the biggest number, so 15.99. Another sell, same as that one. And then I got another one, an even smaller sell there just for 17, so 16.99 or 16.89. So just two more little nibble, and then I leave it for the bigger move. All right, it's silver 44 or maybe going towards 50. Then yeah, then off we are to 20 and 24 and then 30, even though it sounds ridiculous, but these things can really run. So I started to trim CDE. Yeah. Heckler had a mental move. I think it got added to some index yesterday. I don't think there was any company specific news other than that. Huge move, 12%. This thing is starting to catch up with the value of CDE. Look at this though. Gap, run, sideways, run, gap. And here we opened above what I thought would have been obvious resistance, but thank God I, removed all my sells up until yesterday at the market close, and I got this little big move without trimming it. Next stop is the absolute, the 2011 high. Oh wow, $11. So I've got a little sell at 10.99, a little one. Yeah, I remember this one: 10.99, 11.49, and 12.99. Little sell. But to get to 13, I think we're going to need a few weeks because that's just really far away. I don't think you're allowed to do that. We already had a massive run. But yeah, things can get crazy. The world has not really realized silver yet. So little sells and then just let it run. That's the all-time high. But no, it's not. Jesus. This thing can really move. And that's why I have little sells in case I'm surprised to the upside. Then I don't really care about my little sells. They have no impact to the core position value, really. So those are the levels I'm watching. That's a crazy move yesterday though. And it held up really well actually. Hardly lost that move as we started to drift lower at some point and then we closed strong. So I expect it to continue since silver's up again this morning. EXK, this one has been a bit weird. It's been coming down the last few days whilst everything else has gone up. Maybe some of them have had difficulty going up, but this one's just clearly retraced. It should be a buy, right? We've retraced to a buy zone, but I'm not buying it because I don't like this. It's the least valuable silver stock other than MAG, which I've deleted because it's now no longer trading, so that doesn't count. It's my least valuable silver stock, and I don't know. I just SILJ's going up. So if I buy EXK, I'm buying SILJ's move up. I don't like to buy a vertical move up in SILJ, so I'm leaving this one. Still worth a lot, but I just not sure why it's coming down. But it's at support, so it's not exactly a sell. It's more of a buy than anything else, but I'm just holding. Can't go wrong with a hold. Right, now I can cover my little juniors, can't I? Aftermath, which I chased up here. Um, what's my level? 63 or something. I forgot my buy, but I'm underwater, which I'm happy to have because then I can add to it. But if there's a surprise move lower, then I'll buy this much cheaper, have a nice average, but I'm leaving it. This one I'm buying in case there's a massive move, let's say move up to $50 in silver, then this will be basically above one. Clearly, this will be testing its old high, and I'll be making 100% in a few weeks. So I don't know which juniors to buy. I just bought this one. I know it, and I think it will have to go up if silver goes up. This one, Juanto, whatever. this one is just this one's capable of multiple 100% moves if silver sustains the move up. So this is a little lottery ticket, and so far so good. Okay, yesterday's candle's not ideal, but it's still a green day. This one is more long term. So if silver moves, this thing will really move. Here I'm looking at the OTC, but if you look at the Toronto version, you can see the historical. It really can move a lot. And here we actually took out the descending. So be patient with this one. I think it will move way higher. And then there's one more. What is it? GSVR aftermath. I forgot the other one. Doesn't matter. They're just juniors anyway. But look, let's see. For me, the point is the move has been huge. It's going to continue. But it's just risk management part of me, and the old habit of trimming is coming back because the value of these stocks and a downward move is gonna. It's. I mean, I just have to get used to the scale up. Let's say. But yeah, I've just started to trim again because some of these are just massively overextended. But otherwise, nothing changes the thesis. Midterm, long term, especially long term, nothing changes. War, monetary policy, macroeconomics, fiscal debts. I mean, I think it's just becoming more and more obvious, which explains the move up. Not just to the rest of the world who've known it for a while, the BRICS and everything, but I think some of the institutions are starting to say, yeah, and it always takes a big move in gold for a long time for them to finally realize. But it's just, I think it's worth considering small trims now more than ever before, just to guarantee the profit, confirm the kill. So that's how I'm looking at it. Anyway, good luck. Let's see what happens. But it's absolutely beautiful as per usual. Good luck.